And that's one of the things that I want so much for people to know.
Well, John, maybe the hippies of the 60s weren't just on something, maybe they were onto something. Scientists at Johns Hopkins now say magic mushrooms really can expand your mind. Leary, a Harvard researcher, claimed his mushroom-induced psychotic trip was so spiritual, it led him and a generation to
turn on, tune in, and drop out.
Fast forward to 2006 and this research room at Johns Hopkins. 36 volunteers took part in an initial study on whether psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, really does have a lasting spiritual effect on people.
And then the feeling that we were all one.
It is the duty of every government to provide people some kind of relaxation, some kind of peace, some kind of silence. If you cannot provide meditation, at least you can provide medicine. Each Sunday morning, rather than going in the church, you just go on a trip.
I think ayahuasca can show us how beautiful we are inside and what kinds of possibilities we have for love and for actions of kindness. One of the great assets of ayahuasca is that it's plants. And, you know, what better way to root ourselves back into the web of nature and a compassion for this web of life than through the plants themselves. You know, the plants are talking to us. We need to listen. I'd taken 2 strong doses of ayahuasca.
Once this window number 2 had been opened by DMT, I could access it with LSD.
It just got louder and louder until you just had to surrender.
Was feeling like my mind just expand and extend out through the whole web of life.
There is no concept of time.
Time crumbles, the linearity of time. There is no sense of separation, no shadows. This is like the actual core of where all of reality is emanating from. This is where meaning comes from. Symbols were pouring out, they were intertwined. Every symbol and letter and in every language was pouring out of this point. And so I went right into this white light. As soon as I went into it, I lost any sense of being different, any sense of what I was doing, past, any sense of future. It was absolutely blissful.
You see, there's nothing to catch on to. You are the universe. It doesn't matter whether you live or die. That's nirvana. All clinging to life, everything like that, you see then that it's hopeless. And you give it up, not because you know that you think you ought to give it up, because you know there is no way of catching it. There's nothing to catch hold of. There's no safety in the cosmos. So you just have to give up.
Once again, I recommend a healthy dose of psilocybin mushrooms. 'Cause you know what happened when I took them? I laid in a field of green grass for 4 hours going, my God, I love everything. The heavens parted, God looked down and rained gifts of forgiveness onto my being, healing me on every level, psychically, physically, emotionally. And I realized our true nature is spirit, not body, that we are eternal beings, and God's love is unconditional, and there's nothing we can ever do to change that. It is only our illusion that we are separate from God or that we are alone. In fact, the reality is we are one with God and He loves us.
reclaim the present as the present, as the hereafter. We are unraveling our navel so that we may ingest the sun. We are not afraid of the darkness. We trust that the moon shall guide us. We are determining the future at this very moment. We know that the heart is the philosopher's stone. Our music is our alchemy. We stand as the manifested equivalent to 3 buckets of water and a handful of minerals, thus realizing that those very buckets turned upside down supply the percussive factor of forever. Let your children name themselves and claim themselves as the new day. For today, we are determined to be the channelers of these changing frequencies into songs, paintings, writings, dance, drama, photography, carpentry, crafts, love, and love. We enlist every instrument, acoustic, electronic, every so-called gender, race, sexual preference, every person as beings of sound to acknowledge their responsibility to uplift the consciousness of the entire fucking world.